Well, did you see the post I made on the community by chance? Are you in the community?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Hell
started the community.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Which one was it that just like that breakdown that you did?
Sort of for like kind of like the session that we're gonna dive into today.
No, I don't think I saw that.
Killer,
Wait,
bro.
hold on. So, which community are you talking about?
I know there's like a lot.
Yeah.
It's REI with Darion Blake.
No, man, I'm not in there.
Dude, okay, I got you, bro.
I'm in there. Hold on.
I got you. Hold on. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna put the link in the chat, bro.
Okay.
There you go. And as soon as once you click that link, it'll kind of prompt you to like create a login or log in with Google, but you'll have like your own login for it, man.
Okay.
And also in the community, I've got all my documents. So like my purchase and sale agreement, I've got my JV agreement, I've got my assignment contract in there as well, and breakdowns on how to use them all.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a Discord for the most part.
Okay.
Covering different topics. So, but I've got each I guess channel will have like a pinned post as to like what the channel is about and how to use it properly.
Okay.
But it's brand new, man. Just rolled out with it like last week. So and it's kind of it's growing, man. There's like it used to show me how many people are in here, but now it doesn't. There's like 60, I think 60 people in it.
Fireworks and everything when you sign in. Look at that.
You said what?
There's fireworks when you sign in and everything. Look at you.
I know, dude. It's cool, right?
That is fancy.
Right? I was like, let's go. Yeah, no, dude, it's sick, man.
No, nice.
But yeah, man. So basically, what we're gonna cover is this super loud?
No, that's good.
Okay, cool. So what we're gonna cover, bro, is like the 4 key pillars of what it takes to have an actual successful real estate wholesale business, right?
Okay.
And this is something that I've talked on or touched on, very briefly before, but I've never really done like any true deep dives into it. I just broke my screen. Why am I always shit, man? Always something. All right, hold on, give me a sec. Now I gotta find it. Go to call. There we go. Found it. But yeah, it's like a true deep dive into like these 4 key pillars, man. So that's kind of what we're going to cover today. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you.
Okay.
Cool. Let me know if you can see it.
Let's see what you got. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. So these are the 4 key pillars. You've got acquisitions talent, systems implementation, you've got management, and then of course you've got finance management. You heading out, babe?
Yeah.
All righty. Well, have fun. You going bye-bye, baby? Yeah. You look cute, mama. You look cute. Can I have a hug? You look cute. Go, mommy. Go, mommy. No, go, mommy. Careful. Oh, don't jump right there. You're gonna get hit by that spotting arm. Yeah, you're getting it. So yeah, man, like acquisitions talent, systems implementation, management, and finance management. So damn, dude, there's so much noise, bro. Bear with me, man. Bear with me.
You're good, man. Don't worry about it.
All right, so let's take a dive. We're gonna dive first into acquisitions talent. What the hell is it? Okay. No, oh, you can have that one. Okay. So acquisitions talent is probably one of the most important aspects to having a really successful wholesale business. Even if it's just like, I wouldn't say you, but even if you've only got one other person on your team, right?
Yeah.
Or even if you're surrounding yourself with other people who are able to do things really that strive in areas that you're kind of like weak in, right? So for example, you got a lot of guys that are really good at acquisitions. They're really good at acquisitions, but they are terrible when it comes to dispositions, right?
Okay.
And vice versa. You've got guys that are great at dispositions, but they suck at acquisitions. So it's kind of like a hit or miss, man. So acquisitions talent is basically just ensuring and making sure you've got the right people in the right seat. You don't want to have an integrator or somebody who's really good at like system system operations in an acquisitions position. You don't want that, right? Or somebody who is more familiar with doing like admin work or like transaction coordination. You don't want a TC in an acquisitions position because it's just not going to be a good fit, right? It kind of goes against their grain. They're not going to really thrive. If anything, they're really just going to kind of suffer more than anything because it's just not, it's not like their forte, man. It's not free. And vice versa, dude. You don't want to have somebody in acquisitions doing TC work because most acquisitions guys really are not the most organized people. I'm being transparent. I know this because that's how I am.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to having a TC, your TC needs to be super well organized. But if you have an acquisitions dude doing TC work, a lot of shit is going to fall through because they're just not that well organized. Now, you can have individuals put in these positions and they may do well for a little while, but eventually, because it's going against their grain. Bye, baby. Bye, mama. Can I have a hug? Okay. Go, mommy, baby. Go. Go, bye-bye. Careful. Oh, shit. No, go bye. Go bye-bye, baby. Go. Go. Okay. But because it goes against their grain, man, like they're gonna burn out. They will significantly burn out, and they'll burn out quick because it's just not something that. It's not that they're not used to it. It's just something that they can't keep up with, man, and they're not really passionate about it. Bye, mama. And they're not really passionate about it, bro. So like, you want to make sure that you have the right people in the right seats doing the right thing doing whatever it is that they really excel at, right? So sometimes, like for example, you can have individuals who own the business, but they're just not the best CEO for the business.
Right.
They may be a good CFO, they may be a good COO for sure, but they may not be the best CEO. And so when you're really focusing on acquisitions talent, you've got to come to that realization that you may not be the best fit for that particular position. And you got to be okay with that. I got you.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So much better, dude. But yeah, man. So like you're gonna have you just want to make sure that you're in the right spot, right? So that's what acquisitions talent. Acquisitions talent is making sure that the right people are in the right seats.
Okay.
Damn, I can't spell. Oh my gosh. There we go. So that is very, very, very crucial, man. And it's like, okay, well, how do you know if you've got the right people in the right seats? Well, you can use a PI index test. These are very popular today.
Mm-hmm.
Not my favorite, I will tell you, but they are popular. But you've also got what's called a Hexaco test. Now, Hexaco is my favorite.
Okay.
And all they are is essentially personality tests.
Right.
And so the reason I like Hexaco more is because it really breaks down. I'll actually show you. It really breaks down. I think this is revised. Yeah, here it is. This is the website. It's a survey. It's very long. It's like 100 questions. But it really breaks down a bunch of different things, man. Like, it's more detailed. it's so much better than a person or the PI index, in my honest opinion.
Okay.
So when let's see, what is it? It's like humility, extroversion, Mexico meaning. Here we go. So it'll test your, let me see if I can zoom in here. Oh, I really did zoom in quite a bit. It tests honesty, humility, emotionality, extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, and openness. And so that's why I think it's so powerful of a tool, man, because one, it's such a thorough test when you take it and ask so many questions. It's almost kind of hard to trick it. Like it's very difficult to trick it. And it just breaks it down in a way that really helps you understand somebody's like how they are as an individual. And so that'll help you put the right people in the right spot because you can see their like how extroverted they are. You can see how they are with other individuals. You can see how they are as far as themselves. Are they more closed off and reserved? Are they open and gregarious? Are they go-getters? Are they self-conscious? Like it just breaks down so much, man. And when you do like PI index tests, the PI index test you can trick, and I know that you tricked it. So like when I do PI index, it brings me down as the analyst, but it goes between the analyst and a maverick. So those are my two personality traits for the PI index test: analyst, maverick. Well, it's hard to determine like. I would say it's hard to determine and kind of base anything off of the PI index test. And here's why I say this, because I was interviewing with a group called, it was a company called 419 Properties. They're a super awesome group for sure. But when I gave them my PI index test, it showed that I was an analyst, like the analyst. And what's up?
Where's she put her juice? I was already like,
Oh, babe.
oh, bye.
My bad. Well, dude, I went through 4 interviews with these guys, had phenomenal interviews, had lunch with them. They like it was great, man. Had great conversations. And they're like, man, you really know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing, you've got the track record. And I did. Like I really had a good solid track record. But because I scored as the analyst, they didn't want me in that position for their acquisitions because it wasn't suited for me.
Right.
I'm like, bro, I just showed you literally my production in 6-month time span, and you're telling me I don't know how to do sales and negotiations.
Right.
And very interesting, And so that's why I wouldn't lean so heavily on the PI index test. It's popular, but I don't know, man. I wouldn't lean heavily on it because your Hexaco is really going to show you a lot more, and it's going to reveal a lot more behind the curtain. Okay. So anytime you're hiring or going through the hiring process or you're looking to partner with somebody, I would definitely recommend that they go through the Hexaco test, personality test, because it's going to help you better understand how they are and who they are as an individual.
Okay.
There we go. So acquisition talent, making sure you got the right people in the right seats and utilize the Hexaco test, right? So in the right seats, you've got multiple different positions, especially here in like the wholesale business, right? So you've got a CEO, you got a CFO, you got a COO, you've got VIP, or we just do acquisitions director. You've got dispositions director. Okay, there we go. You've got acquisitions manager. Dispositions, dispo managers. Okay. These, for the most part, and then you got your TC, your director of operations. It's kind of like the COO, but not necessarily. Yeah, I guess you could leave it as a COO for a small team. That'll work. But yeah, like these are the roles that you want to fill in, right? You want to make sure you've got the right person as the CEO leading and driving the company in a direction that actually makes sense. This is typically going to be your biggest visionary,
Mhm.
but also you want to make sure that they're a fucking realist. Because you, at the end of the day, you don't want to put somebody in that position who has very unrealistic expectations or has very unrealistic goals, right? You want to make sure each of these goals that they set out are going to be actionable and achievable, right? Because you have to crawl, walk, run. You can't just shoot for the fucking like moon thinking you're going to hit it. It doesn't work that way. You got to build your way up to these goals and to these achievements. So you want to make sure you've got somebody who sees the big picture, but is also able to break it down into realistic stepping stones. Your CFO is usually going to be integrators. This is somebody you want that is going to be very analytical. There we go. Your COO, also integrator. I wouldn't say analytical, but I would definitely say more that has like an engineer kind of mindset.
Okay.
Because they're essentially building systems. They're building, you know, like these are going to be your guys that are going to be really building your system implementation, which is another thing that we'll talk on as well. Your acquisitions director, these are going to be not integrators. These are going to be like, I don't really know. I don't know. The only two avatars I'm familiar with are visionaries and integrators, but these are going to be guys that you want that are going to be actionable.
Yeah, so like implementers.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Cool.
And oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's cool enough.
Yeah, bro. You want implementers here. You want implementers here, 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 and here. Integrator. What would you say somebody for organization? Is that an integrator?
Yeah, I mean I mean the TC aspect, I mean, it's just like its own animal.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. They're gonna be organized, very, very well organized.
Yeah, that's the key for sure.
Okay, here we go. Let me move this over here. All right, cool. So these are the roles that you want to have in your business, and you want to have and make sure that you have these individuals that are fulfilling these roles, right? So if and any time you have it kind of mixed up or backwards, it may work for a little bit of time, like we have talked about, but eventually it's going to fucking burn, dude. It is going to fall behind, right? So if you have an integrator and acquisitions role, they may be able to keep up for a little bit, but they're going to fall behind. Their production's going to go down, and it's just not going to last long for them. So when you're building a business or when you're building a successful company, you really want to ensure that you're putting not just the people in the right seats, but you're also putting them in a position that is going to allow them to be with you for the long haul, right? That's why you have a lot of people or a lot of wholesale companies that have such a high fall through rate and have such a high turnover rate because they're putting the wrong people in the wrong seats. They're not really taking it as seriously as they should, and it's just not driving the company. They're just throwing people into this fucking cog of a machine and hoping it actually works out, and it doesn't.
Right.
So to avoid all of that, because it's exhausting, to avoid all that, man, you want to make sure that you focus on acquisitions talent and understand the importance of really taking the time to be diligent in your hiring process and finding out what position this person is going to be best suited for. Because even though they apply for, let's say, somebody applies for an acquisitions, role, but it just doesn't fit them. Maybe it might be better for them to be in, as a TC or in whatever other role you have on there or on the team, depending on how big of a scale it is.
Mhm.
But shit, man, if you have somebody that applies for your role and all of your seats are filled out, it's fine if you have to move on to the next person.
Right.
Because you want to put the right spot in the right seat. or the right person in the right seat. And in the long run, you will be doing them a favor because it gives them the opportunity to move on from that potential opportunity that they applied for, so they can move on from it and find something else that they may actually be best suited for, right? So it helps them out in the long run as well. So that's really, really important, man. It's just acquisitions talent is very, very vital. So let's go into the next one. We've got system implementation. This is probably my favorite. Okay. Yeah. So what is system implementation? I've talked about this several different times. Do you know the two different system types?
Not particularly.
You got hard systems, soft systems. What are the differences? So your hard systems, that don't look right. There we go. This is going to consist of items that you would not have thought to be like a hard system, but it really is, because it's very vital, very important to any successful business, and that is your SOPs. Right. So Darion, what is SOPs? It's, for those who don't know, is a standard operating procedure. Why is this so important? Why is this so important? It's important because without this, you're going to have everybody running around with their heads cut off like a chicken. And you're not going to be able to hold anybody in your team accountable because you don't have SOPs. So even if it's just you or one other individual, it's good to understand what your SOPs are, because you can hold each other accountable and hold each other to those standards for those specific SOPs. So this lets you hold others accountable. It also manages expectations. This is a breakdown of how-tos. How do I do this? How do I do that? What do I do when, when I get the deal in? It helps you keep track of everything as well. So it helps maintain organization. Okay. I already said that. Helps maintain organization. And it's really the roots for growth for any company. Now, why do I say it's the roots for growth? You cannot expect to build a very successful business if you do not have a solid foundation for your business. And your SOPs are that foundation. Your SOPs are what's going to essentially grow down and out and sprout, that's going to hold the business together, because everybody's on the same page and everybody has the same expectations, and you're able to hold each other accountable. So your SOPs are extremely vital, no matter how big or how small your team really is. So your hard system is going to consist of SOPs, but it's not just SOPs. It's also going to be, lo and behold, your KPIs. What are KPIs? For those who don't know, these are your key performance indicators. Okay. Why are KPIs important? Because these are the metrics that you're able to track. These are trackable metrics. This is trackable data. To rock. It's terrible. Trackable data that shows your business, or that's, I guess you could say business performance. Okay. This also allows you to do, I would say, quarterly audits on your team. This allows you to hold team accountable, and it gives the proper expectations. I think I spelled that right. It gives the proper expectations for your team, and it lays out actionable steps. Growth. Okay. Yeah. So your KPIs, man, are super, super important because, again, dude, like this is like your metrics you're tracking on a daily basis, right? So depending on how you are focused on your business or how your business model is, whether you're direct to seller, direct to agent, direct to wholesaler, whatever your business model is mainly focused on, as far as the lead type or lead source, that is really going to determine your overall KPIs. Because when you're tracking the metrics for a direct to seller approach versus a direct to wholesaler approach, your KPIs are entirely different, totally different, because you have different approaches that you're taking on. You have a different end goal with direct to seller, and you have a different end goal with direct to wholesaler. Like, they're not the same lead type, so they have to have different KPIs. But there are some similarities. So, for example, when you're doing direct to seller and you have cold calling as one of your, strategies, marketing strategies, the number of dials that your team is making on a daily basis is important to track. That is important to track, because when you're doing something like that, sales, in fact, does become a numbers game, because you got to dial out all these calls on a daily basis to get, a contract, versus doing direct to wholesaler. I don't care about how many dials I make or how many dials my team makes. What I want to know is how many conversations, real conversations, are you having with individuals? How many new relationships are you building? Right? Because when you're focused on direct to wholesaler, you're focused on relationships, building long-lasting relationships. How many people can you pour into? You are not focused on that when you are doing direct to seller, because direct to seller does not bring you repeat business.
Right.
Different ballgame. So in this case, direct to seller is a lot more transactional than it is relational. So they're different KPIs and different metrics. So based off of how you want to set up your business, or the business model, or the lead sources you want to take in, you need to understand what metrics you need to track. Is it calls? Is it how many dials you make, how many phone calls you get on, like conversations you have with the sellers, how many offers are you putting out on a daily basis, how many offers are you winning, how many offers are you losing, how many offers are closing or are pending. Like, these are very different or very important metrics to track when you're doing direct to seller, but they're different metrics when you're doing direct to wholesaler. So when you're tracking KPIs, it allows you to really have a bird's eye view as to how your team is performing. It allows you to understand how an individual is doing in their daily routine. Like, how are they really performing? So, for example, if you're doing direct to seller and you got a guy that just isn't doing any deals in a month, let's say he goes, he does great his first month, but then his second month coming in, he doesn't get anything. Well, what was the root cause? Now you can go back to his KPIs and really break it down and look at the last 30 days of how he did with his KPIs. And it's like, Jack, man, like, your first month here, this is how you were doing, and this is why you're able to generate this many deals. But this month, you kind of lacked a little bit in these areas. And because you fell behind in these areas, that's why you weren't able to create as many offers or get any really, deals done. So it allows you to really kind of go back and reverse engineer the process to find out where they are falling short at, and where they're messing up at, and what they need to do, and what area they need to focus on to improve to get a contract. So That's why it's really important to have KPIs. Even if it is just you and your business alone, you want to have set up your own KPIs and you want to hold yourself accountable to these KPIs, because if you don't, you're not taking this serious as a business. You're doing this more as a fucking hobby, and you're not going to be successful in this industry working this shit like as a fucking hobby. It's not going to work. It's just not going to happen. If you want to really do six figures, it is super, super easy to do, but you have to take it seriously and you got to put the work in. So, even if it's just you or you and your buddy, you want to create these KPIs. Now, here's another thing too. If you are bringing on a family member or a friend to help you in your business, there's nothing wrong with it. There really isn't. But you want to lay out the proper expectations and the proper, really just the proper expectations. And so when you put together your KPIs, when you put together your SOPs, if they do not take that shit seriously, move the fuck on, let them go, because they are not the person you need to help you with what you're doing.
Right.
And you, as the business owner, do not need to be afraid to tell them that.
And if you say you set expectations, then they shouldn't be surprised if it goes the wrong way.
Exactly. And I think that's where a lot of people really kind of mess up at, is they, they try to bring their friends or their family into this industry without properly managing those expectations and without properly creating SOPs or KPIs for them to track. Now, I have been trying to bring a really good buddy of mine into this for fucking the longest, man. And I finally convinced him to do it. But when I set up KPIs for him, it was a no-go, right? Like, he wasn't upholding the KPI. So I was like, I'm not gonna, I can bring you to the water, but I can't make you drink.
Right.
I can give you a gold fucking bar, and it's so valuable because it's gold. But if you don't perceive it as being valuable, I'm not gonna take it, and I'm not gonna beg you to take it. Right. I know the value you're providing. If you want it, great, it's yours. But if you don't, I'm not gonna waste my fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think a lot of people are a little too. I don't think they're transparent enough when it comes to it, and I think they're very worried about what their family or friends think, and I think they're worried about what that's going to do to their relationship. But it's like, at the end of the day, if they aren't able to respect your business and what you have going on, get them out of it.
Right.
Let them go. So, because it's just the longer you hold on to them, the more animosity you're going to create. So let them go early. Cut that fucking string.
Sure.
So overall, these are your hard systems, your SOPs, standard operating procedures. These are your how-tos. Once you have all these put together, what does all this help with? It helps with this. If I can find my handy dandy pen. It helps with this process, onboarding. Okay. That's what it helps with. It helps with your onboarding process. And your onboarding process is very, very, very important, because if you lack a good, solid onboarding process, that shows me, one, that you don't take your business seriously. And it also shows me, too, that you're not properly leading the individuals on your team the right way. So if you lack a really good onboarding process, it's showing me a lot about your leadership. And if you can't properly lead me, how can you expect me to take you seriously? It's just hard. So you want to make sure you have a good, solid onboarding process. Now, anytime you're doing system implementations and anytime you're building a company, there are two things that you really need to have laid out. And these are very often overlooked. It's your mission statement. So what does your company represent? And what are you trying to achieve? Very important. Very important. If I come across a company I was interviewing with a bunch of different people, bunch of companies, and I would ask them, what's your mission statement? And, well, we don't really have one. We haven't defined it. I'm not fucking working with you guys. because I want to know where a company is going. If you guys do not have a 5-10 year plan, I don't want any part of it, because it doesn't show me that you're taking your business seriously, and also doesn't show me that there's any longevity that's really been thought about. So, and it's hard to hit a target when that target hasn't been set up.
Right.
It's like walking in the dark. I don't know about you, man, but it's a lot easier to fucking hit a target with the lights on than the lights off, you know? But you can't do that if you don't have a proper mission statement. So, mission statement. Then you want to have your core fucking values. That is extremely important. Why is core values important? Core values is important because it allows everybody on your team to understand what you are upholding and what your company is representing. So anytime they are misrepresenting your company, they're misrepresenting your core values, you can let them go because they are not suitable and they are not a good fit for what you have going on. So, like for example, integrity. Integrity goes a long ways, but unfortunately, a lot of people don't have it, and it sucks. It really does. It's unfortunate. But if integrity is my first principle, my first core value, and I see somebody doing something that's not the right thing, you think I'm gonna hold on to them? No, then they can go, because they're misrepresenting the company and they're misrepresenting me, you know. And it's like, if I have you on my team, if I bring you on, you're not just representing yourself, you're representing me, my name, my reputation, and what I'm doing and what the company stands for. And so if you misrepresent me in any way, you're gone, you're out of it.
Right.
And everybody should have these two things in line because they are both extremely important. Can I make that bold? No. So mission statement, core values, very, very important. And what is the company vision? And also extremely vital. This is why I asked Andy the other day. I was like, man, where do you get, like, what's y'all's 10 years goal? He's like, well, we don't have one, but we have a first year, third year, and fifth year. So as long as you have a company vision, here we go, and or goals, that, man. Because again, you cannot hit a target if you cannot see where you're going.
Right.
So if you want to build a successful business in this industry, you need to understand what your mission statement is and why you're doing this. Because this is very important. This is your why. And the reason it's important is because when shit gets fucking tough, when shit hits the fan, if you do not have a strong enough reason as to why you're doing this, or why, like, if your why is not deeply rooted, your tree is going to fall over anytime a hard storm comes through. Anytime a hard storm comes through, you want to ensure that your roots are extremely vested into the fucking soil, because when the storm comes through, no matter how strong that storm is, you can weather through it. So your why is extremely, extremely important, and it cannot be no surface level bullshit as to, oh, I just want financial freedom, I want more time with my family, I want, you know, this and I want that. No, dude, like, that's surface level shit because it's not really deeply rooted enough. And if something fucking storm comes through, you're just going to fall out of the industry like a lot of other people, because your why isn't strong enough.
Right.
You have to have a solid understanding as to why it is that you're doing this. Because if, I mean, for example, man, myself, if my why wasn't really deeply rooted, I would have left this shit a long time ago, man. A long fucking time ago. But it's because my why is so deeply rooted that I've stuck through it. It's because my why is so deeply rooted that I was okay with fucking getting burned from out of a 240K assignment deal. It sucked, yeah, but at the end of the day, I weathered through it, pushed through it, and also learned from it, right? Big learning experience. So your why needs to be really deeply rooted. Your core values, man. Everybody on your team should know your fucking core values. And your core values need to be in alignment with your mission statement. They need to be in alignment with your why. Because that is what is going to separate you and your company from a lot of other people that are out there. a lot of other people. And when you go to these sellers or when you go to other agents or wholesalers, a lot of times, man, they can sniff that shit out, dude.
Yeah.
They can sniff it the fuck out. And so it's like, if you don't have integrity, if you don't uphold integrity, if you don't uphold transparency, if you don't uphold accountability or responsibility, dude, I don't want to work with you.
Right.
Because this is going to break down your character as an individual. When you're building a business, it's basically like a fucking it's like a baby. Like you're building a baby, and this baby will grow and blossom into an adult, right? Well, your core values create the character and the personality of that business. Your entities, and people don't realize this. I don't think people realize this, but your business is fucking alive, dude. It is a living, breathing being that has its own personality. Great example. Look at New Western.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of personality do you think new people look at or think of when they hear New Western?
They're sharks. I mean, they're just
they're fucking assholes.
right.
That's their personality. That is their character. Right? Like that's who they set themselves up to be. That's
right.
how they are, because they don't uphold the core. They don't uphold core values. They don't uphold a mission statement. Like they're just not all on the same page, and it's all about money. It's all transactional. So that's why they were able to build such a negative reputation for themselves, and that's why their entity of their business has this bad character, this terrible personality. It's like the narcissist.
Right.
Nobody wants to fucking work with the narcissist. You know, and when you first meet them, you've never met them before. When you first meet them, do you know they're a narcissist? Nope.
No.
But you will learn quick as shit that they are. So it's very similar to a human, like just being a fucking person, man. Because at the end of the day, your company consists of human beings. It consists of people. So there are multiple personalities that converge into this one entity. So it is literally a living fucking being ran by living beings. It is a personality. So you want to make sure that everybody on your team understands the mission statement, understands the why, understands the core values, and upholds those core values. It's important.
Mm-hmm.
You also want to have your company vision and your goals put together and in line, broken down, and explained, because it's going to allow people to see where you're going. It's going to allow people to understand what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, and it will create loyalty. It'll create loyalty. If you put somebody in the right position, in the right spot to where you set them up to succeed and excel at what they do really great at, and you've got really great leadership, they will stick with you to the end of fucking time. As long as you take care of them, as long as you pour into them, they will always stick with you. And if they're able to see the company's vision, and if they're able to see the company's goals, and if their recommendations are able to impact that vision and those goals, that shows appreciation. They're going to feel appreciated, so they will stick with you till fucking ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you create loyalty. That is how you create a long living fucking business. So that is just your hard systems. Now let's go into your soft systems. Hard systems are my favorite though, and it's for that reason, man. This is like, it's more philosophical.
Mm-hmm.
So what are soft systems? Your soft systems are going to consist of the daily tools that are needed for everyone on the team to tell efficiently. That ain't right. Efficiently. I still feel like I messed. Oh well. To efficiently perform their daily tasks. That is your soft systems. Your soft systems will consist of the daily tools that are needed for everybody on your team to efficiently perform their daily task. Well, what does that entail? This could be stuff like your CRM. Very important. This could be stuff for like pulling comps. So it could be things like MLS, Privy. I'm a fucking butcher it because I always do. Propelio. Prop stream. Shit. Prop stream. It's weird that it did that. There we go. Prop stream. It could be batch leads. Then I'll listen to all of them. What else am I missing? Talk to me about right now. Your CRM, since I'm listing items or listing tools, I think that's also going to be really helpful. It's like, Darion, what CRM do I use? Yes, Simple Send, which is it's a good tool, but it's a pain in the ass sometimes. It's very customized and it's built just for wholesaling. So it's a very powerful tool. You got Close. Close is my second favorite. It's a really awesome tool as well. Airtable, I love it because it's fucking free. Cannot be free. It's invaluable. There we go. So Simple Send, Close, Airtable. You've got Salesforce. Salesforce is really great, but it's very complex. But it is very good and it's very integratable. You also have PropStream. PropStream allows you to do CRMs, but it's trash, so I don't recommend it. But you can do it. Same thing with batch leads. You can utilize it as a CRM, but again, it's trash. You've got Excel, believe it or not, / Google Sheets. You can use that for a CRM, especially if you're just starting out, and that is also free. Again, you cannot beat free. Copy this. Okay, we're going to pull this down. Okay. Can you use Privy as a CRM?
Not really. No.
Okay.
You can save data and stuff that you've looked at, but no, it's not. There's really no benefit. There's no contact info you can really put in there.
Okay. You've got Follow Up Boss. Follow Up Boss is a really great tool. Really great tool, especially if you're an agent. Bravo is also really good. Bravo is free. It's a good tool as well. You've got, damn, what was it called? It was called, bear with me. There's another one that was recommended that I was told about. Where is it at? I never got it in here. It is Zoho. They even have like a little DocuSign type of deal attached to it. So you can send documents out. Zoho is really good, fairly inexpensive. Let's see. Simple Send, Close, Airtable, Salesforce, PropStream, Batch Leads, Excel, Google Sheets, Follow Up Boss, Bravo, Zoho. Can you think of any?
No, man. That's like about 5 more than I knew.
Oh, pipe trash, which is a piece of shit, by the way. Oh, here's another one. Also another piece of shit. Podio. Podio sucks, dude. You can have it built out like a custom build to where it's efficient and effective, but for the most part, like Podio is garbage. I'm not a big fan of Podio by any means. But these are like CRM systems that I've used in the past. All except for Zoho. I've used every single one of these except for Zoho. But the top two, I would say Simple Send, Close, Airtable, and Follow Up Boss are definitely my go-tos.
Okay.
Those are the ones that I would definitely recommend, especially like I don't know, man. Like Follow Up Boss is a really great tool. It's a really good tool. I like Follow Up Boss a lot. You can call from it, you can text from it, you can email from it. Like you could do a lot of the stuff you could do with Simple Send, you can do with Follow Up Boss. It's just Follow Up Boss is more tailored for agents, like real estate agents.
Mm-hmm.
And Simple Send is more tailored for wholesalers. So they both have their pros and their cons. They're both super easy to use. They're both extremely integratable. They're both really, really great tools. Both of them were really great tools. And I like Simple Send a lot. So out of the two, I'd probably go with Simple Send just because it's more tailored for wholesaling than it is for anything else. So I would have to recommend Simple Send for sure. So now we got our CRM. We've got our other platforms for pulling comps. So you've got the MLS, you've got Privy, Propelio, PropStream, Batch Leads. So these are pretty important stuff to have to make sure that you're running, you're able to, I guess, like analyze a property, really important. But you also want to make sure that you're utilizing things to keep up with like finances, because finances is important, man. Finances. So when it comes to finances, you can use Excel and Google Sheets. It's free to do. Can be free. This is going to sound kind of funny. You're like, why do you use that? I'll tell you why I use it. I use Square. 100%. I use Square, one, because it's also free. Two, you can get a debit and you can get like a checking account set up for them, a business checking account set up for them, free. They'll send you a card, free. It's free, dude. Can't beat it, man. And then you also have the ability to send invoices, so you can take payments, you can send direct wires, ACHs, you can receive ACH. Like there's a bunch of, it's such a really great tool to utilize, but you also have the ability to where you set it up and it takes out taxes. So when it comes around the next following year, what do you not have to worry about? You don't have to worry about your fucking taxes because it does it for you. So it's a really great and powerful tool, and it helps out come tax season. And then also, it just looks clean, dude. It looks super, super clean. You can take payments from your phone. You can have like somebody scan a QR code. They can pay you with the QR code. They can you can take a picture of a check, upload it directly into your account. You can do payroll from it. Like it's just, man, it is a phenomenal fucking tool. It really is. QuickBooks, very similar to Square, but Square is so much better. It's really all I can think about, man. But you also want to make sure, so we'll do finances / tax write-offs. And then everything that you buy, or like, for example, my card that I use with Square, anytime I go out and do like, did I misspell that? That's embarrassing. Like if I take out a client or if I take somebody out that I want to do business with, it's a write-off.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Square, every payment I make with my debit card is a fucking write-off with Square, and it tracks all of it. So I don't have to keep receipts because it has all of it. So it helps out quite a bit, man. So like even when I'm like gas, oil changes, tires, my truck payment, my phone bills, my utility bills for my office, for every imaginable expense you could think of that is related to your business can be written off and stored with Square because it has all the receipts for everything.
Okay.
Really great. So Square is really great for that. When it comes to tracking your miles, Stride is phenomenal.
Okay.
Stride is really great. You've also got Mile IQ. Mile IQ is also a phenomenal tool to automatically track your activity. So like you don't have, like with Stride, you have to pull the app out and let it know that you're about to drive. Mile IQ, dude, you can hop in the vehicle and just start driving, and it'll track that movement and track where you go. And you can swipe right for it to be a business expense. You can swipe left for it to be personal. So Mile IQ is really great. Stride is cheaper to use. Mile IQ costs, it's like a monthly subscription. It's like $5 a month or something like that. It's like fairly inexpensive.
But that's all right too.
Yeah, it is. It is 100%. You will have quarterly reports and yearly reports that it provides you, and you can use those for business expenses and write-offs as well. So it helps you maintain and keep track of everything. So Mile IQ is a really phenomenal tool to have and keep hold of, especially if you drive a lot in this industry you do. So it helps out quite a bit. These are really the tools that I use. It's mainly Square and Mile IQ. Those are the tools, the two main tools I use for my finances. Let's see what else is good for system implementation for soft systems. You got your CRM, you've got polling comps, comp data, you got your stuff for your finances. What else do I use for like daily activities, man? Here we go. Here's another one. This is really important as well. We're going to have, I wouldn't say a dialer because like if you use SimpleSend, if you use Close, if you use Bravo, if you use Zoho, if you use Follow Up Boss, they all have dialers involved. So a lot of these systems here are going to consist of other smaller items or tools that you can utilize in your business and in your industry. So for example, you can set up text message drip campaigns in SimpleSend and also in Follow Up Boss and in Close. So you can set up different drip campaigns and you can have it where it organizes everything for you. So you could have 1,000 people, 1,000 contacts in your CRM system, and it will help you maintain relationships with these individuals, and it'll help you follow up with them on like a bi-weekly basis, just by putting them into these different campaigns. And you can set up all kinds of different campaigns. So it just really streamlines your process, and it really like helps you maintain the maximum organization you can. But it does require work on your end because you still got to make sure that everything gets plugged in properly, and you still got to make sure that everything is flowing as it should, and you still got to fine tune certain things as well. So you still got to stay on top of it, but for the most part, it really does make a lot of things simple, man. It really does. But another one, man, honestly, this one's pretty self-explanatory, but it's just really a website.
Yeah.
Having a website is, believe it or not, is important because it creates credibility.
Mm-hmm.
So for websites, Duda.co is the best platform, in my opinion, you can build on, and it's also the only one that's Google preferred.
Okay.
You've got Wix.com. You've got what's that one? What is it? You got GoDaddy. There's another one that WordPress. You've always talked about how amazing WordPress. I fucking hate WordPress.
Yeah, it's so hard to use.
It is, dude. Yeah, WordPress. And there's a ton out there, man. There's a ton of, hell, you even have, if you want to do set up, if you're balling on a budget and you need to set up a free website, you got Google Sites is what it's called.
Okay.
Free. Free. Just don't expect a pretty website, but they are free. But you got all these tools, man. So you got Duda.co, which is, the only Google preferred. And the only one I really recommend, you've got Wix.com, you got GoDaddy.com, you got WordPress.com, and Google Sites. So when it comes to creating like a website, personally, I like Duda, not just because it's Google preferred, but it's because it's super easy to use and it's extremely user friendly. You can customize it however you want. You can set up Shopify stores. You can set up e-commerce stores. You could do blogs. You could do all kinds of shit with Duda, man. It's just a phenomenal tool to really use, and it's easy to understand and create like meta tags, meta descriptions, meta headings. Like it really breaks all this shit down. And when you're running like your marketing, you can go into the website and, for example, let's say you're doing Facebook marketing and you have a Facebook pixel. Well, you can go into Duda and easily upload that pixel. Very, very easily. And you can do the same thing with Wix and WordPress for sure. But if you're using stuff like, here's a really popular website or I guess platform people use when doing wholesaling, is Carrot. A lot of people use Carrot websites. I fucking hate Carrot websites because they're ugly. And they're all the same.
Carrot.
They're garbage, dude. They do such a bad job with like SEO. Like it's really bad. But you have Carrot websites. The only big benefit to Carrot is it's very integratable. Like you can integrate your Carrot website with your CRM for the most part, but it's like you can also integrate your website with your CRM if you use something like Zapier. Zapier.com is also a very, very good tool because that'll allow you to integrate the leads that come in from here to go into here. So Zapier, let me do that here. So this is called a webhook. Zapier.com, or Zapier is a phenomenal tool. It's a great tool for webhooks. Really good tool. Cool. So these are soft systems that are used on a daily basis. You're using a platform to run your comps and do your analysis. On the back end of making sure, and this is going to tie into financial management, but on the back end, you want to make sure that you are properly tracking your finances for your business. And so if you use Excel and Google Sheets, you can do it. You can set up your sheets for free. It just takes a lot more diligence and prudence on your end to keep up with it. You can use Square. It's free to use. It's a phenomenal tool. You use QuickBooks, also saying it's a really good tool, but I'm not a fan of it. And Stride, Malik, you're really great tools to use for tracking your mileage. So those are also really great stuff, man. For your websites, Duda.co, Wix.com, GoDaddy, WordPress, Google Sites, you got Carrot, and utilizing Zapier.com for any of these websites to go to, I wouldn't say all of these CRMs, because not all of them are integratable with Zapier. But finding a CRM that is integratable with Zapier, killer. So this will allow you to, this will allow you to efficiently run your business. So far we've covered two things: acquisitions talent, putting the right people in the right seat, making sure that nobody burns out, and also system implementation, your hard systems, your SOPs, your KPIs, why that's important. And now we just covered your soft systems as the different tools that you could utilize for your business. Now let's keep diving in because we're going to run into management. All right. So this is also really important. Why is management important? Steve, why is management important, bro?
You got to make sure you're going the right way.
Yeah, man.
Keep them going the right way. That's it.
So management. This falls down to leadership. Management is extremely vital because not everybody, and again, this comes down to being acquisitions talent, and I'm going to make a note of this because people don't understand this fucking concept and it blows my mind. Okay, I'll put asterisks on it because it's important. And caps. Not everyone meant to be in a leadership position. That sounds like an asshole thing to say, but fucking it is true, man. Not everybody's meant to be in a leadership position. So you could have like a high producer, like let's say you got like, we'll use Andy for example. Andy's fucking crushing it, man. The guy's got 10 deals. I don't know him on a like super personal level, but let's say, you know, we took Andy and he was given a leadership role. Now he's leading a team. Is his production going to go down? I don't know, but there's a very good likelihood that it could. Sometimes it is not always the best thing to put your highest producer in a leadership role because it's not where they're meant to be. And again, this comes back down to acquisitions talent. It is understanding and knowing who in your organization has leadership capabilities, because leadership is not a God-given gift. It is a skill set that is learned over a duration of time and experience. That's how leadership is cultivated. It is derived from life experience. And that's another reason, for example, man, like this is a reason I could not get along with my peers for the longest time because they were all fucking retarded. I was 18 years old in a long-range surveillance unit, which is a special operations reconnaissance unit in the Army. At 18 years old, I made a team, dude. Other 18-year-olds, you think they were doing that shit? No, bro. No. Not at all. And because of that, I had different life experiences, which allowed me to really mature at a faster rate, at a faster level. It allowed me to have different, really just different fucking like perspectives on different things, man. Because I was put in different positions that most people will never see in their lifetime. And because of those instances, it cultivated and really taught me what leadership actually looked like. You're not going to get that in a lot of people. So leadership, the best leaders are usually the individuals who have seen the most adversity in their lives and have actually taken that adversity and grown from those experiences. Those are typically going to be your best leaders because they're usually the most wise. So when it comes to leadership, you want to ensure that the individual you're putting into that position is a wise person, right? They have a sense of wisdom, and wisdom is not fucking knowing everything. Wisdom is having the understanding and having the ability to first realize, one, that you don't know everything, and two, you seek to understand before you're understood, before seeking to be understood. That is wisdom, seeking to understand before being understood. Wisdom. So you want to make sure that the individuals that are in your leadership positions are wise people and that they don't just yap, but they actually sit back, they'll ask you questions and then listen to the feedback, and they pry to find out more information about what is going on. And then they go out and refine the processes to fix the problem. That is leadership. Leadership is not being in a position where you're like, hey, I'm the supervisor, or I'm the manager. That's like, this is the way to do it. This is how you're going to do it. That's not leadership. It's not. So understanding management or putting people in the proper management position is extremely key and vital to your organization's overall health. And another reason it's important is because if you plug, if you plug the wrong person, oh my goodness, in a leadership position or role, if you plug the wrong person in a leadership role, it will cause a lot of tension on your team. Because not everyone on the team is going to agree with their perspectives. And it just creates a bunch of animosity. And in turn, this is what will create a high turnover rate. Because people like to work with people they like. And if you have a fucking asshole as a leader, nobody's going to work with them. If you have somebody in a leadership position and all they're doing is fucking downing on somebody or beating them down or making them feel belittled or making them feel stupid or not even appreciated or not heard or listened to or understood, you're going to burn through people. You will burn through people. So it is important to make sure that the people that you have in your leadership roles are actually leaders. And it's also important to understand that not everyone likes to be managed the same way. Right? Not everybody likes to be managed the same way. Some people like to have their hand held. Some people do. Some people like to have their hand held because they want to make sure that they understand the processes all the way through. They want to make sure that they're not messing up. They want to make sure that they're not messing up, and it also helps them stay accountable, right? But then you get guys like me. I fucking do not like my hand being held at all. Like, don't hold my hand, dude. Like, tell me what I need to do. Give me an objective. Give me a task, and I'll figure it out. That's how I like to be managed. It's like, look, here's our task at hand. Let me figure out how to do it. I can do it. If I need your help, I will come and seek your help. But for the most part, like, you don't have to micromanage me. I don't like being micromanaged. And when individuals try to micromanage me, it really pisses me off. It really does, because it's like, dude, I'm not a baby. I'm a grown ass man. I know how to get this done. Let me figure it out. Mm-hmm. But if you're shoving your hand up my ass and trying to work my mouth like a puppet, it's not going to work, man. Like, we are not going to be working together for very long. So a lot of times you'll have individuals in a leadership role or in a management role, and they let it go to their heads to where they become very egotistical. And it's like, look, dude, at the end of the day, you're just a manager working for somebody else, just like I am.
Right.
You know, like your position is no different than my position. You may have a different title, but at the same day, we're still in the same fucking ball field, bro. We're still playing the same game.
Right.
So you are no better than I am in this playing field, in this arena. And if you treat yourself as being superior to me, well, that lets me know, one, you're very insecure about yourself.
Very.
But two, it also lets me know that you have a superiority complex. So there's a lot of stuff that you have going on in your own mind that has happened to you over your lifespan or your lifetime that has brought you to this position, being how you are. But I know for a fucking fact that you're not somebody I want to hang out with at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Not somebody I want to be like bringing my family around. So, and I know that you and I are not going to have a relationship. We're not. We're just going to be fucking colleagues.
Right.
So, making sure that you've got the right people in the right spots in the management, especially in leadership roles, is very, very important because, again, not everybody likes to be managed the same way. So if you're in a leadership role, if you're a manager on a team, you really want to sit down and do one-on-ones with your team and understand how they like to be managed, understand how they like to learn, understand who they are and how they are as individuals, because it's very, very important. Your position as a leader is not to just lead people in the direction that the company needs to go. It's to help people develop the skill sets that are necessary to get in that direction, to help them become more confident with their role, help them become a lot less, what's the word I'm looking for? Damn, I can't remember the word. You really want to help them become more confident with what they're doing.
Yeah, just freedom.
Yeah, you want to encourage them. You want to show them appreciation. You want to do these things, and you want to let them know that, one, you're there to help them, to guide them, and to really lead them. There's a big difference when you're fucking when you're in the dirt and you're in the trenches with your guys side by side and you're not fucking in the back bossing them, giving them orders. It's a big difference, man. Huge difference. You're going to create a lot more commodity you're going to create a lot more respect. You're going to get a lot more feedback, and you're going to have people that are just more, you're going to allow honesty and transparency to be created within your atmosphere. Nobody is going to try to run around you, or nobody is going to hold anything back because they're fucking afraid of what you're going to do. Anytime you've got individuals on your team that are afraid to speak up, or they're afraid to say something, or they're scared of how you may react, you're not leading through servitude. You're leading through reverential fear. And you cannot do that because it is not going to last. The only being in the entire universe that can lead through reverential fear is God, and you are not God. You're a man, and that's all you'll ever be. You can't lead through fear. You can, but it's not going to get you far, and nobody's going to like you. So, leadership is not a God-given gift. It is a skill set that is learned over time and experience. So you want to make sure that you've got the right people in the right spots, in the right roles. And that is essentially what management is. You want to make sure that you understand how all of your guys, or how your team likes to learn. You want to know how they like to work. You want to know how they like to be managed. And you got to understand how they like to be talked to, because not everybody likes to be talked to. Some people like transparency and just being straightforward. Some people like the sandwich method. Like, oh, you're doing a really great job with this. Here's how I would, tweak it just a little bit, but overall, like, you're doing good. That's the sandwich method. Some people like that. They like to put sugar over all their shit. I drink my coffee fucking black, dude. Give it to me straightforward. Be transparent with me. I don't need sugar. I don't need fucking creamer. Just give it to me as it is. Let me know. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me. If I can improve on something, tell me. But don't beat around the bush, because at the end of the day, I will respect you a lot more if you're just transparent with me.
Yeah.
Rather than you trying to fucking sugarcoat shit and get around the bush. I hate that. Just be transparent. But not everybody is like that. Some people like creamer. Some people like sugar, in their coffee. So you got to figure out how those individuals are and what it is that they like. And you have to understand how to talk to those people or those individuals, because not everybody likes to be led the same way, or not everybody likes to be managed or talked to the same way. So you just got to understand that.
Yeah. So
management, super important. Now, going back, financial management. Why is financial management important to understand? Because if you do not know how your business is performing, how can you expect it to be profitable? If you don't know how your... Can you believe that people pay 10 grand to learn this shit?
Yeah, actually.
Can you believe people charge people 10 grand to fucking teach them this shit? It blows my mind, dude. You don't know how your business is performing. You cannot expect it to grow. Period. Financial management, man. It is fucking super key. I had a conversation with Tyson yesterday, and he said something that just blew my mind. We were going to a property, had squatters in it, so both of us were strapped just in case. Thank God. Nice. But on our way there, he had a phone call with a buddy of his, and it was a very brief call. But basically, his buddy was telling him, he's like, "Dude, I did over $1 million last year, but I only netted 40 grand."
What?
Yeah, dude, that shit hurt me, bro. When he told me that, I was like, that hurt my heart. I was like, that hurt my heart. I was like, man, if I made $1 million and I only fucking netted 40, my heart would drop to my ass, man.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's bad. That's super bad. But it comes down to not being aware of your financial management. It's also down to not being financially literate. So finance management is important because in that example, you can make 7 fucking figures, but if you are not properly managing your expenses, you can net 40K. True story. But it's just for that reason, man, because you're not properly managing your expenses. So financial management is very important because, again, man, you cannot expect your business to really grow if you don't know how it's performing or if you're spending everything that you get, right? So when it comes to financial management, there are the different things that you got to take into consideration. Marketing, for example, marketing is fucking expensive. You have to have a solid set marketing budget. If you don't have a solid set marketing budget, you're going to be spending X amount of money per fucking year. So you need a solid budget. There you go. Marketing. You need a solid budget for marketing, 100%, right? Aside from marketing, what else do you have? Well, you got fucking payroll, my guy. Your team. Payroll is important, right? You need to understand and have clear-cut expectations. Set clear expectations for pay, right? So for the longest time, man, like, dude, I've always been good at, like, sales and negotiations, but it wasn't really until like last year where I finally let go of fear, right? And here's what it's kind of like when you're a kid and you go to the pool and you go to the deep end because you see all the other kids swimming in the deep end, right? But you don't know how to fucking swim. You have no idea. Nobody's taught you. So you're just standing there with your little floaties on your arm, speaking from experience, and you're looking at the fucking water. Well, you got a choice, man. You can jump the fuck in or you can stand there on, the sideline waiting to do it, but you never do it. So it's the same concept when it comes to, like, fear is just that. Fear is you being that little kid standing on the side looking at the water. The water is what it is that you want to do, but you're afraid of the risks that are involved, right? So in my case, 2 years ago, running commission only was a fear. I was like, man, because W-2 provides structure, it provides stability. And the moment I go into commission only, it's based off of my performance. So if I don't perform, if I don't close deals, I'm fucked. I can't put for my family. I can't put food on the table, none of it. That's what I kept telling myself over and over and over again. That was the fear. That was the little boy standing on the sideline, looking to dive into the water, scared. Because I allowed myself to believe that. But one day, I decided I was going to take my fucking floaties off and jump in. So I did. Took them bitches off, bro. Dove in head first. Head first, man. And it's like, start swimming around, and you're like, damn, this isn't so bad. It's always worse in your mind than it actually is in reality. Because your mind, your brain, the way it's developed, the way it's, I guess, designed, is to prevent you from taking risk that could potentially cause you harm. Because at the end of the day, your brain is designed to keep you alive. The probability of you staying alive when you take bigger risk slims down.
Right.
But inevitably, you will be your biggest fucking enemy. You will have all that fear that is built up because you want to ensure your survival. But the ironic part is because you allow yourself to get in the way, you never really get to swim around in that water and just, like, be free. Going commission based, running off of commissions only, is the best thing I've ever done. It's the most money I've ever made. Because it's the most money I've ever made, because it's the best thing I've ever done. It allows us to have essentially, like, build a fucking future that would never have been able to be built staying in W-2.
Right.
It just never happens, man. Fuck, man, I make more than a fucking lawyer or a doctor who spent 10 years going to law or going to fucking med school.
Right.
without the hundreds of thousands of dollars in tuition.
Yeah.
That's why sales is in my honest opinion, sales is the best profession you can really get into, and it's for a reason. If you're a producer, if you bust your ass, if you really fucking commit to it, there's no ceiling as to how much money you can make in this world, or how much money you can make in sales, or how much money you can make in fucking, especially real estate. There's none. You just gotta get out of your head.
Right.
You're down to. So when it comes to properly managing, coming back to it, when it comes to properly managing your finances, man, you gotta you have to get out of your head, but you also need to like really dial in, and you really need to tune in to becoming financially literate. Because the last thing you want to do, bro, is make 7 figures and net 40K because you didn't properly manage expectations. You didn't properly set a budget for your marketing. You didn't set like expectations for salaries or for payroll, right? So it's like when it comes to payroll, especially in this field, when you're doing acquisitions, for acquisitions and dispositions, make it fucking commission based.
Mm-hmm.
What does this mean? What does it mean for you and your business? It means you don't have to fucking pay someone unless they're producing. That's what it means. If you're making these roles commission based, if you're making it commission based, they are thriving off of their own performance. Your business will thrive off of the deals that they're able to bring in, and you give them a percentage of whatever it is. You have to make it commission based. That is really the only way that you're going to have a thriving acquisitions and dispositions department. Because at the end of the day, you want guys that are going to fucking go out there and go hunt, that are going to eat what they kill.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want dudes, you don't want fucking gatherers in a hunting position.
No.
You don't want that. Because they're going to look for the low hanging fruit and depend on you. They're going to lean heavy on you. You don't want to do that. So for acquisitions, dispositions, make that shit commission based. For yourself, whatever role you've got yourself in, like you really need to just sit down. Where are we at? Here we go. You really need to sit down and you need to find out how profitable your business is. You need to know what your expenses look like. There we go. So you need to know, we'll say gross profit. We'll just say this. You need to know your gross profit. There you go. You need to know your gross profit, and you need to know what your expenses look like, because that is what's going to determine and let you know this will determine your fucking net profits, man. That is what is important, is your net profits. You need to understand how much your business is netting on a quarterly and yearly basis. And this is also a KPI for your own business. You need to set up KPIs, financial KPIs for your business, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to properly track the amount of growth that you're having over a duration of time. If you're in this business for the first year, you do not want to be in the same position on the third year. If you're in the same position on the third year, you're not growing your business. It's a hobby. You don't have a hobby. So the only way to properly track the growth of your business and to hold yourself accountable and hold your team accountable is to properly set financial KPIs for that business. And that will allow you 5 years from now, you can go back and look at all your shit and be like, okay, this is where we started off at. This we built it over a timeline. You're building a fucking history. You're building up a history that you can go back and look at. And so let's say you're 5 years in, going into your 6th or 7th year, your shit starts to go down. Well, why did it go down? Well, look back at your history. You can go back and look at like, okay, this is what we were implementing. This is what we were doing to be successful and build growth and to drive the company upward. But then we made this change here. And after we made this change, shit started going down.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it mean? It means now that you know where the fucking tier is as to where that pivot point started shooting downwards, you can go back, revert that, go back to what you're doing, and it'll fucking go right back up.
Right.
Because patterns repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Patterns repeat, habits repeat patterns. So you're able to go back to it, make those adjustments again, and now you're going to bring your profitability back up. So understanding how your finance management looks like, understanding your profit and loss statements, understanding the last 6 months, the last 9, 12 months, understanding how you're performing on a quarterly basis, and ensuring that you're hitting these metrics every single fucking quarter is going to be what drives your business and your company upward. Otherwise, if you're not properly tracking your finances, if you're not properly tracking how you're doing, you're not going to grow, and you're going to be like the gentleman making 7 figures but only netting 40K.
No.
So,
dang, dude.
These 4 pillars are what is vital to growing a successful business in this industry. Doesn't matter if it's just you by yourself. Doesn't matter if you have one other person. You need to have every single one of these 4 pillars in line and in tune in order for you to really properly expect your business to grow. That's the only way you're going to be able to build not just a 6-figure business, but even the potential to making 7 figures. And you're also able to build consistency within your business because you can properly track everything.
Right.
But if you do not have these things lined out, you're not organized, you're not properly setting expectations, you're not building a mission statement, core values for yourself or for your team, you're not watching how your company is doing financially, you're not watching your expenses, you're not watching your gross or your net profits, you don't have a fucking profit and loss statement set up, you're not helping yourself because you got payroll, and you're fucking paying your acquisition guys salary. Yeah, it helps them, but it doesn't help you. You know, it's just going to take away from your fucking company, man.
Right. And does it really help them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have any of these pillars in play, you're not going to have a solid foundation. You're not going to have a table to really come and sit at. These are legs for your table, essentially.
Nice.
And the moment you start taking away your legs is the same moment that table becomes unstable.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either eat on the fucking ground or you can build a table with 4 solid legs.
That's right.
But
man, for real. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. Apparently, I've been doing a hobby, and I'm not proud to say that, but that's the truth. So this is a lot to think about, a lot to implement.
yeah, man, you gotta build it to where you have to build it to where this shit is actually fucking actionable.
Right.
You have to, man, because like if you don't break this down into what a business should look like, you are never going to properly set the expectations that you need to grow it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's like shooting at a target in the fucking pitch black darkness,
Right.
with no light. I mean, you can shoot all day long, but the chances of you hitting that target are probably slim to none.
No.
You turn a fucking light on, dude, you can't miss it.
Right.
I mean, you can, but if you miss it, you just suck at shooting.
That's a different story.
Yeah, that comes down to you just suck at shooting, man. But you see the target, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
You know, so you want to shoot in the dark, you want to shoot in the light.
For sure. All in the light, man.
Yeah, bro.
Dude.
But aside from that, man, like that was a lot of information.
But man, dude, that was. I mean, I feel blessed right now. This was practically a one-on-one session. I mean, that was great presentation. Well thought out. I mean, I don't know what you're doing on that side. Like if you got another screen over here telling you what to talk about, but like bullet listed it out, and it's so easy to follow. I love it.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, Julie's in the background listening too.
Love it. Love it. Love it. What did she say? I didn't hear her any of her. What she said?
She feels blessed too because she's in there listening too. So
Love it, man.
Yes,
But-
thank you so much. Hey.
Hey, no, you're more y'all are more than welcome. But like that's what it comes down to, man. It's like I don't know, and it's funny, man, because like when I try talking to my wife about, I love my wife so much, man. But when I try talking to her about business,
yeah,
I'm very straightforward.
Sure, no,
Yeah.
dude, you're mixing that relationship. That's a tough one, buddy.
It is, man. It's mad at me every time. Yeah, dude. But I bought her like this digital marketing course to help her better understand how to market her business.
Yeah.
And the first thing that they talk about is mindset. And this is a woman-led course, which I love.
Cool.
The first thing they talk about is mindset. And so I had her put the training sessions on the TV so I could listen in.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I told her, they fucking talked about.
But dude, you told her you're a dummy. I mean, disrespect, but you understand.
Yeah, dude. And so like it was so funny because I'm listening to it and I'm like, I agree 100%. And I asked her, I was like, what are your thoughts on that? And she's like, she rolls her eyes and she goes, I want to hear from you. And I was like, I've been trying to tell you this,
It's a slight win.
But it is, man. But it's like it's just like it's kind of what it comes down to, man. It's like if you have a business, you got to treat it as a business, and you got to treat it very, very seriously.
No, that's a hell of a blueprint, man. And I mean, in that, you're not just talking like mom and pop shop, which is really cool because this expands into, I mean, Forbes 500, whatever.
Yeah,
that's absolutely how they're doing it. I mean, we've all worked for corporations at some point in our lives, and to see that breakdown, you're just like, damn, like it's not rocket science, it's implementation and hard work, but it's not so unobtainable for everybody.
Yeah, man. It's not like the secret patty formula that Mr. Krabs is fucking hiding away. Like it's real simple stuff. It just comes down to putting it into actionable steps, implementing it, putting the right people in the right spot to help you grow it. Because that's what's also really important too, man. You may not be the best visionary. That's all right. Bring somebody else on who has the fucking vision. But if you're a great integrator, or if you're a great implementer, work together, build something solid. But you also want to understand, like, look, first off, this is a partnership that we're building. We need to have solid expectations. We need to understand the direction that we want this to go. So really breaking all that down, understanding those expectations, laying it all out, and just building something from there to where it can actually flourish and blossom into something like, great, dude. It's phenomenal because now it's not going to just be a fucking hobby, but you're both going to treat it as a business that is evidently growing. And it's just like it's a big, like, it really is a big game changer, dude. And so that's what sets you apart from being a business owner and a hobbyist. Yeah,
exactly.
So
well, awesome.
Yeah. You got any questions for me or anything?
But I've got to kind of sift through this. I think I just got inundated. So, but tons of information that was, damn, dude. I mean, that deck's available, right? Will it be available? Is that available, or
like the
presentation you just gave? Will that
be? Bro, I can share it to you right now, man.
Oh, dude, yeah, for sure. Because I like, as you're talking, I'm thinking about different things, obviously, and trying to stay focused, of course. But like, there's some younger guys that have talked to me about doing, they're listening to different gurus and things like that, and I just want to, like, I'm wondering, like, I'm going to make them take the Hexaco test, and I'm going to take it. I've never taken it. I've taken plenty of personality tests that I know that I can make myself look however I want.
Yeah.
I know what I mean, that sounds so sociopathic, but it's the truth. I know if I'm going into a sales role and you have me take a job, you know, a test that, and it asks you, if you were in this position, would you, or in this situation, would you be aggressive or would you be passive? Well, of course I'm going to be aggressive because that's what you're looking for. So that's, you know, so it'll be cool to go through that and see how that actually comes out. And nobody's going to analyze it but me, so I can really be honest about it.
Yeah, dude. And it's a phenomenal tool. And when you go through it, you also want to read how they score. Because they have different ratings for each one. And so if you rate high for one thing, like humility and honesty, that's great. But if you rate high for, like, let's say, what's a good one? Being like an opportunist, that's not so great. Like, you don't want to be a fucking opportunist because these are people that want to take advantage of every situation they can take advantage of.
Right.
And those are like big key red flag indicators for narcissism, and you don't want that.
Oh yeah, no.
So that's why I love Hexaco so much, man, because it's like it really breaks down who you are.
Sure.
And it allows you to also audit yourself over a duration. So like every year I try to take one and compare my results to the last.
Cool.
Because it shows individual growth, man.
Yeah.
It really does. And so it's also like having a personal like KPI metric to keep for yourself. It's like, did I grow here or did I stay stagnant and complacent with where I'm at? You know, so we're able to really break it down and really look at it like that. And it's just it's a very, very great tool to use, man.
Cool, man. Yeah. No, that's amazing, dude. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, bro. No, you're more than welcome, brother. So sweet. Well, that kind of that's killer, dude. I don't know if I want to dive into or hop on the deal analysis. Actually, I'll go.
Dude, it'll be real. I got to jump off. But man, I can't thank you enough for that. That was awesome.
Yeah, bro. You're more than welcome.
Awesome, brother. Take care, man. Thank you again.
All right, brother. You have a good one, man.
You, man. Bye.
Yeah, later, bro.